If you're constantly overwhelmed, burnt out, or saying yes when you really mean no, this message is for you. In this powerful and calming talk, a wise man shares the art of saying no, how to set healthy boundaries, guard your energy, and reclaim your time without guilt. Through personal stories and timeless wisdom, he'll help you reflect on what truly matters and inspire you to live more intentionally. Take a moment for yourself. Breathe, reflect. It's time to choose you. What's one thing you need to say no to today? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe for more weekly wisdom. Your channel link. Like if this gave you peace, share this with someone who needs to hear it. There's a quiet power in the word no. It's not loud. It doesn't demand attention, but it protects something far more valuable than we often realize. Our time, our energy, and our peace. You see, when I was young, I thought saying yes was the way to grow. Say yes to every opportunity, every request, every favor. I thought I was being helpful, kind, ambitious, but I was also slowly disappearing. I remember once a close friend asked me for help on a project. I already had a full plate. I was exhausted, my mind foggy, but I said yes because I didn't want to disappoint. And I showed up, half-hearted, drained, barely present. That project failed. Our friendship became strained. And I learned something I'll never forget. When you say yes to everything, you're also saying no to something else, often to yourself. Every yes you offer costs you something. Your time, your focus, your peace. The question is it worth it? People often mistake boundaries for barriers. They think saying no is so selfish, rude, cold. But the truth is saying no is an act of love for yourself and others. Because when you protect your energy, you show up fully where it truly matters. Let me ask you, how many times have you said yes with your mouth, but no with your heart? How often do you feel exhausted, not from work, but from overcommitment? That's your soul gently whispering, enough. There's an old saying I once heard in the mountains of the East, he who chases two rabbits catches none. In our lives, if we keep saying yes to everything, we catch nothing meaningful. We lose clarity. We lose direction. You don't need to answer every message. You don't need to attend every event. You don't need to please every person. You are allowed to choose where your energy flows. And here's something they rarely tell you. People respect a clear no far more than a confused yes. A grounded person, one who honors their own limits, sets the tone for how others treat them. You train people how to treat you, not by what you tolerate, but by what you accept. Let me share a story. Years ago, I was invited to speak at a large gathering, something that years before I would have jumped at. But this time my heart was heavy. My family needed me. I needed me. I declined, politely, with gratitude, and the world didn't fall apart. Instead, I watched the sunset with my daughter that evening. She looked up at me smiling. That moment was worth more than 1,000 yeses to the outside world. Saying no doesn't always mean rejection. It can mean not now or not like this, or I choose something else. It's a redirection, a way back to your center. So if you're watching this and you felt stretched thin, if your calendar is full but your heart feels empty, I want you to hear this. It's okay to say no. It's okay to disappoint others in order to not disappoint yourself. It's okay to rest, to step back, to breathe. You don't need to earn your worth by being everything to everyone. Protect your mornings. Guard your peace. If something doesn't align with your values, your vision, or your well-being, let it go. No is a complete sentence. And the people meant for you, they will understand. In the silence of no, you create space. Space to reflect, to grow, to reconnect with what matters. I invite you to try this today. When someone asks something of you, pause, breathe, ask yourself, does this honor me? And if the answer is no, say it calmly, kindly, clearly. Then watch how your life begins to change. You'll find more energy, more clarity, more peace. And with time, you'll realize that every no you've ever said was really a yes to something greater. A yes to your truth, a yes to your growth, a yes to you. Remember this, dear one, your time is your life, and your life deserves to be lived intentionally. There's a kind of wisdom that doesn't come from books, but from boundaries. The wisdom of no, not in anger, not in rebellion, but in stillness, in truth, in love. I learned this the hard way. When I was in my 30s, I had a job that looked perfect on paper, good title, good pay. People respected me, or at least they respected what I did. But every morning I woke up with a quiet ache in my chest. I was running on fumes. My days were filled with back-to-back meetings, favors, extra tasks, because I said yes to everything. One night I came home late. My son was waiting up for me with a drawing in his hand. He'd made it at school, just for me. But I had missed his school day, again. I looked into his eyes, and something inside me cracked. He didn't say anything. He just handed me the picture, and in that silence, I heard it louder than words. You're here, but you're not really here. That night, I sat in the dark and asked myself a question I had been avoiding. Why am I giving so much to things that don't give back? That moment was my turning point. I realized that every unnecessary yes I gave at work was a no to my family, my rest, my peace. I had been measuring my worth by how much I could give away. And so, for the first time in years, I said no. No to staying late, no to weekend work, no to anything that didn't align with the life I wanted to build. Some people were surprised, some were disappointed, but I was free. You see, boundaries are not about closing doors. They're about opening the right ones. Saying no is not rejection, it's redirection toward what matters most. Let me tell you another story. A young man once came to me, exhausted and confused. He was talented, kind, generous, but always tired. He felt pulled in 100 directions, friends, work, family, even strangers. He said to me, I don't know how to stop. I don't want to let anyone down. I asked him, what happens when you burn out completely? Who will you be then, for them or for yourself? He looked at me, eyes wide, and whispered, I never thought of it that way. So I taught him something I learned over the years. You can't pour from an empty cup. You must fill yourself first, not out of selfishness, but so you have something to give that is real and full and true. He started small, one no at a time. He turned down a weekend event to rest. He stopped replying immediately to every message. And slowly, he began to feel alive again. His yeses became intentional, his relationships deeper, and his peace unshakable. Some will not understand your boundaries. Some will push. Some will guilt. But that is their lesson, not yours. You are not responsible for other people's comfort with your growth. You are responsible for yourself, for your peace, for choosing the life you do not need a vacation from. It takes courage to say no, but it also takes clarity. When you are clear on what matters, saying no becomes a sacred act. Let me leave you with one final story. A woman once visited a wise elder in a quiet village. She said, I feel like I'm living for everyone but myself. I say yes all the time. People love me, but I don't love my life. The elder gave her a bowl and said, fill this with water from the stream, but take only what you can carry comfortably. She returned an hour later, soaked and shaking, her bowl overflowing, water spilling everywhere. I tried to bring as much as I could, she said. The elder smiled and said, and in doing so, you lost most of it along the way. He handed her the bowl again. This time, take only what feels right, what you can hold with grace. She returned with a half-full bowl, steady, calm, smiling. This is the lesson. You don't need to carry everything. Only what nourishes you. Only what aligns with your truth. He looks directly into the camera, voice soft yet steady. So today I invite you to reflect. Where in your life do you need to say no? Not to escape, but to return. To yourself. Not to shut out, but to let in what matters. Saying no is not closing a door. It is opening space. Space for clarity. Space for healing. Space for joy. Until we meet again, guard your time like gold. Honor your energy like fire. And let your no be a loving yes to your soul.